Hi guys, welcome back. This room is a bomb because I have to wrap a lot of gifts, so we messy today. And I have a sty, so today I'm going to be bringing to you guys an old-fashioned Q&A. I went through my old Instagram messages and just kind of scrolled through YouTube and just looked at the most frequently asked questions. So we're going to be hitting a little bit on the doula side, on the business side, on work in general, and how navigating this with kids looks too. That will be like a short snippet. I hope that you guys are all well, and if you're new, subscribe. I'd love to have you here. This sty is throwing me off sometimes. Sometimes I forget it's there and like I let my face rest and then I can really notice it. We're just not gonna pay attention to it right now. Let's get to it. Everybody's experience is unique, so the way you get into doula work and the way you navigate it is different for everybody. So just want to put that out there as a little disclaimer. These answers are from my personal experience and from what I know. It may be different from somebody else's point of view. All right, let's get started. The most common question I get asked is, what course do I take for doula certification? And the way that I answer women is that every course is different. You can look on Facebook to kind of get some more deeper insights from people that have taken the courses and have some reviews. Some of the ones that I have been on the fence about taking, like in a good way, have been Childbirth International, Kappa, and Pro Doula. Those have been the three that I have when I was first starting out. Those are the three that I teetered on, and I actually ended up going with a holistic approach. So mine was through a Life of Peace and Wellness Education Institute, and I actually went to a retreat in Houston, Texas. That's where I did my training. There are a few. It's not one size fits all, so keep that in mind when you are going throughout different courses. They all have pros and cons. Keep that in mind. Is doula work consistent, and is it hard to get clients? So I'm going to put these together because, like any business, it takes time to get rolling. It's really not common for a business to get rolling and be successful within the first year. It always takes time. So is doula work consistent right off the bat? No, I would not say it is, because I was in that boat. Getting your own clients takes time because it is a word-of-mouth business. If you're already in a field where you're in touch with pregnant mamas or postpartum mamas, it might be easier to get your foot in and start making these connections earlier than some women that don't. But it isn't consistent because you have to build up your reputation, build up your experience. It all takes time. And is it hard to get clients? I'm not going to say it's difficult, but I'm going to say that it does take time because your website is going to get like more reviews, more Google searches with time. Networking in your community also is something that just grows over time, like anything. So it's not going to be like you just get into the work and then you have an abundance of clients. How much work you put in is typically how you get out if you're putting your work in efficiently. So it's not consistent, but it can be over time. This is another biggie that I get frequently, and I was also on this boat before I started doula work, like full on. Can you shadow or volunteer while you're learning? And I don't think there's anything wrong with shadowing. I think that it can be necessary in some cases to shadow. It depends on the job that you're shadowing. There is a very delicate nature about labor, and women need to feel very comfortable with who is at their birth. So I don't see doulas open to having women shadow them at actual labors, but I think that going to some prenatal visits, like more prenatal side, could be beneficial. I think that postpartum shadowing could be possible, but I don't think it's 100% necessary. This next one is a good one too, because this is something that is different for wherever you end up working. But what is it like to work for an agency? I love working for an agency. I think that it really comes down to your goals as a doula. I think that agencies are great for experience. So if you're a new doula just starting out, if you start with an agency that you are like a close-knit group with, you can learn more about the businessy side. You can learn more about how the other doulas have relationships with their clients. So just make sure that when you pick an agency, your morals align with their morals. And ask questions on interviews, because if there's something that's left unsaid. You may be trying to start your own business and they might be an agency that don't allow you to take other clients besides theirs. So it just depends on what that looks like. Different agencies have different requirements for their doulas. The two most popular I've seen are agencies that expect you to fully commit to only their agency and you can't take on your clients other than theirs. And the other side is agencies that have more of like a hub of doulas, but it's still your own. It's your own prenatal visit, it's your own prices, and it's more free in that aspect. So if you are running your own business, that type of agency will still align with what you want to do. I do think that agencies are great for doulas just starting out regardless, because you get a lot of experience. You may be able to complete your certification under an agency, whereas if they take new doulas, you can complete your certification requirements. It's great hands-on learning, and most of the time agencies have policies where you have backup doulas. So if for whatever reason you can't make it to a birth, they have a backup doula, probably in most cases, that can actually go to that birth for you. So I think that there are definitely pros, especially when just starting out. So you can learn a little bit more about different scenarios, I guess, quite faster than if you were doing it just on your own from the beginning. I really always kind of like to say that you can kind of do it however way you want to, but if you do want to get clients faster, I think working for an agency could be very beneficial. So the next question is, do you have to be a nurse or go to school to become a doula? No, we are not medically trained. We are for physical, emotional, spiritual support through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. So you don't have to do either of those things to become a doula. Why I wanted to become a doula and what it's like running my own business. So I wanted to become a doula because I was working with, a lot of moms and babies before I got into doula work. I was an infants assistant teacher for like 8 years at that point. So now it's 10. I'm not really working with infants right now. My sister took over that room, but my family owns a daycare. So I always grew up around babies and moms, and it just felt natural to get into this field. My friend actually asked me to be her doula. So I decided to get a certification, get into training, and I fell in love, like head over heels after that training. It really changed my life. So what is it like running my own business? And there's a few words that can describe it. One being very freeing. I love working for myself. I am a creative. My human design is a generator. I just love, making and creating, and I'm going to school for marketing still. So I naturally just love business in general. Not great at the financial side, but I really like it. Of course, some of the stress comes in where it isn't as consistent. There are a few weeks at a time where I'm not working as much, and I think it's really necessary to have that break in doula work, because there is a certain toll that it takes, which you will come to find out if you are getting into the work. But I love it. I think that in time I'll become more consistent, like every business out there. But I do have one tip. It's just to believe in yourself and to create your LLC. Just go for it. Learn about the taxes, learn about what you can put on your taxes, have an accountant close by so you can ask them questions, make sure you're doing things right, and stay on top of your game by just continuing your education, and your business will flourish. So I love it. I think just putting all of that stuff together is like brewing my favorite cup of tea. It's making me really happy and excited. I really enjoy running my own business. All right, the next question is, how do you work as a doula with a child? I can't gloss over this. I do have a lot of support. Jared and I still live at home, so I'm able to run out if I have a birth in the middle of the night. I'm able to spend longer days with clients because there will be somebody home, or Lila will be at daycare, and she's also in childcare twice a week. So I think that support is really important, especially for a birth doula, because there are going to be nights that you have to leave at 3 in the morning, and there are going to be 40-hour labors. It's needed. It's definitely part of the equation. I think on-call babysitters could be a great thing. Like maybe older women who are okay with coming in the middle of the night or are up in parts of the night. Maybe throwing $50 to a family member to stay on call for the next 2 weeks for you. I think there is definitely that support out there depending on what area you're in. If you want to be a doula and you don't have much support for your children, that's okay. You don't have to jump right into birth work. You can get into something like postpartum doula work where you can schedule it. You can do childbirth education. You can get certified in other areas like lactation or breastfeeding counseling and kind of get in a different route so you can one day get into birth work, but at least you're getting started in the community, so your name will be put out there earlier than not. I would never want somebody to steer away from this work because they have kids. It is doable. It's just about finding your team and finding where you want to put your energy and just going for it. So that really wraps it up. I hope that you gained some insight on anything that you've been thinking about. And if you have any further questions, feel free to leave a message down below or shoot me a DM on Instagram. I really am so excited with where this channel's going. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers around New Year's. Please subscribe if you made it to the end. I'm so happy to have you guys here. I hope you guys have a beautiful holiday. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next time. Build your team, get that support system, and go for it.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love?